Amazing.
Yep.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. All right. Welcome back. Finally going to try and put up another episode. This one's going to be a Ford truck episode. Recently, this thing has developed an issue that's very common to trucks. Ooh, look at the flex. To trucks outfitted with one of these. So we turn the key over, and I don't know if it's going to show it when it's not running. I don't want to start it, but overdrive lights flashing, read the codes. I got code 62, which seems to be associated with failing torque converter, and I believe it, because the torque converter, it's kind of getting to be a slippy bastard. Now, to start off, before we start talking about how we're going to fix this problem, I do not have anything against E4OD. I think the E4OD is a fine transmission. The transmission itself still works beautifully. It just, the torque converter is going to shit. I think in a good 460 or a Powerstroke, I think an automatic is the way to go. But in an IDI, and even an IDI Turbo that makes, 190 horse from the factory and 388 pound-feet of torque, I mean, that's pretty good. It's good enough for what I do, but it just, for me, it's not worth having the automatic. So we've got a 5-speed sitting here. I've got 3 of these dirty bastards, but the original, when I got that right there, that greasy one, that's the diesel bell housing. And on the bell housing on these ZF5s, from here all the way down to here, oh, I just stuck my hand in RTV. That's bell housing. That's the tail shaft. Everything internally connects to the tail shaft, but this is the old one. When I bought this transmission, it was $350, and there was a reason it was $350, because if we look here, it's cracked. But wait, there's more. Where's Billy Mays when you need him? It's cracked all along in there. So this thing's cracked, and I'm not going to put it back in the truck with a cracked tail shaft. So the original idea, that's a 460 S542 or S547. This is an S542. I was just going to take this bell housing, drop it on the S547 460 ratio. Well, I got into it, and well, I can show you on this. The gears are just kind of mangled on it, and the main shaft looks a little bit the same, mainly just the top gear and then the corresponding gear on the other one. And then on the other one, there's some rust on and I'm not putting that back in. That's dumb. I'm not going to do that. So I ended up ripping this thing apart. Had to steal a bearing out of the 460 transmission because one in this gear set was blowed up. And here's what's left of it. So I put a bearing in it. Yeah, when you do this, you got to take these they're 3/8. I think they're actually 10 millimeter, but they're technically 3/8. These are your shift detents. You got to take those caps out. I did that with a screw and that slide hammer. I advise you get new caps. I didn't, because I didn't quite think this through all the way. So I just JB welded those, and we're going to reuse them. It'll be fine. But yeah, I just went through, cleaned this thing up. I still got to put the top on and put the rest of the bolts in. I was just letting that RTV set up. Yeah, take it to the pressure washer and give it a washing. I did wash the inside of the bell housing out with some gas because it was gross. But yeah, we're going to ZF5 swap this thing, and we're going to go from there. In this truck, for towing, a ZF5 is just going to be undoubtedly better. But again, if you've got a good 460, like good strong 460 and a good strong Powerstroke, I would just keep the E4OD, because you can build an E4OD to take quite a bit of power and quite a bit of abuse. You're still going to only have 4 gears, but you can put bigger coolers in them, better valve bodies, bigger torque converters. Well, not bigger, but better torque converters. Built internals, all kinds of things like that. You can go a long way with an E4OD. They're not that hard to build. Just for this truck, I don't have a whole lot of ambition of building the power out of this thing to really validate putting a built E4OD behind it. So we're gonna just run with the manual. For this project, you're gonna need your front drive shaft, you need your rear drive shaft. That one's got a new carrier bearing in it. Ooh, that one's gonna need U-joints. I might use reusable U-joints because I put new ones in that. Cross member, transmission floor hump, obviously a transmission. Where are, oh, pedals. And while you're at that, actually I'll get to that in a minute, you need the pedals. You're gonna need the slave and the master cylinders with the line. What the heck else? Oh, somewhere around here. Oh, here it is. Here's the manual transmission wiring harness. And for different models, it'll vary. Like if you got a gas truck and you're doing this, you're gonna need the manual transmission PCM. I have one of those because actually all this stuff was gonna go in my crew cab, but then this thing ended up needing it worse, so we'll just go find another 460 parts truck for that thing. They're not too hard to find compared to 7.3s, so yeah, $300 for tranny. That's a pretty good deal. Got a new clutch that's going in it. You're gonna need a clutch. When you get your clutch, if the one you're pulling the transmission out of has a dual mass flywheel, don't even screw with it. Go get a solid mass like this. You're just gonna be a lot happier with a solid mass flywheel. They're just better. You might get some gear rollover noise, but I did some reading up on the subject. I think I can just overfill that thing by a quart, and that'll help shut it up. The one thing I haven't quite gotten to yet and figured out is underneath, like right up where your master cylinder for your slave would come through the wall, there is a piece of wiring harness there that plugs into the neutral safety switch, or not neutral, but the clutch safety switch. And normally you would just plug that in and be fine. Yesterday I had the brilliant idea, well, I'm just going to chalk it in the open position, stick a screw through it and hold it. Well, if I do that, it's probably not going to let cruise control work, so I'm going to have to figure out a little bit different way than that. But I was just going to put it back on, but I ran into an issue. And this is the other thing I was going to tell y'all. I got a Heim joint on this because the original, oh, it's over here. That was the original end, and it is just wallered out. That was going to hell, and oh, I bet it's over here somewhere. Yeah, here's the pin that was sticking out that connected to. Look at that. No good. So you can order these kits online, but I don't have time for that shit. So I just went to Space Hardware, got a Heim joint, drilled it, put a set screw in it, and then I got out my taps and dies. This is a 3/8 Heim joint, by the way, and that works pretty good. Got out my taps and die set here. Not gonna lie, the Harbor Freight tap and die set has been pretty good so far. No complaints, except for these deals. Oh, is that the Harbor Freight one? No, it isn't. That is. Them things ain't too good, but otherwise pretty good. But I just put a thread on this. These aren't going to be the greatest threads because this is not exactly set up for 3/8. However, you can get the threads on there to just get this to hold in place, and then stick a set screw in it. And then you go over to your pedals, and I tried to, the original pin is actually pressed in. I tried to take this off and just bang it out. Yeah, that wasn't happening. So I ended up just drilling it out, and then it fell out, and I just put a good old 3/8 bolt in here, and that's how that's going to attach now. And the Heim joint is going to be so much better than the plastic bushing and bullshit. And yeah, just do a Heim joint. If you're going to go this far, do a Heim joint. I'll throw a disclaimer in here right now though. If you're going to do this, go get a tranny rebuild kit. Figure out what model you got and what all's going on. Go get a rebuild kit. I should have done that, but I was kind of in a hurry. I am going to have this transmission out again, unfortunately, because I do want to rebuild it. But before you do it, don't do what I did and get freaking impatient. Just go get a rebuild kit. Might be expensive in the moment, but it's going to be worth your time, and then you don't have to screw with this thing later on down the road. So highly advised, just go in and getting the rebuild kit. These things are not hard to rebuild. There's a top gear at it. Oh yeah, there it is right there. Never mind. I can show you guys this. This is the top gear that would have meshed right here. Look at those teeth. Yeah, that's solid. Oh, that doesn't go on there, stupid. So yeah, just do this and be done. Don't screw around with the way I'm doing it, but it's still gonna work. I'm not too worried. I'll be curious to see if this thing gets up to speed better and all that, because I've got a setup. I got a rear axle, and then I got a front diff. Well, actually, I still have the whole traction beam assembly out of a truck that had 355s and a limited slip. This thing's 410, which with the automatic was kind of important. Otherwise, towing was horrible. But with a manual and no slippage, I'm thinking 355s might go in. We'll see how it rolls first, but I just have these axles, so what the hell. So yeah, let's, what do we want to do first? I think first we're going to work on getting the E4OD out. And, oh, you're not supposed to be there. Yeah, I started throwing and kicking things yesterday when I was struggling putting that together. And then I found out how it goes together. It wasn't even the transmission. It was one of the sleeves that your shift forks ride on to switch gears. There's little springs and ball bearings and 3 little plates. It was kicking my ass. So I was throwing things. But anyway, I think we're going to start on getting that automatic out and unbolted. Now for the automatic, I can tell you this. We're going to have to unhook wiring, which shouldn't be the rocket science. We're going to have to transmission cooler lines. We're gonna have to unhook those. Am I gonna take the transmission cooler out right now? No, because it ain't hurting nothing, so I'm gonna leave it the hell alone. But we are gonna take the cooler lines off, get rid of that. I don't think we should be getting into any battles with the up pipes and stuff. I think all that should be okay. If not, we'll find out later. But I'm hoping it's not going to be a pain in the ass. On a non-turbo truck, you're not going to have any of that shit running around. And this would be a great mod on a non-turbo truck, because I can't even imagine having that E4OD behind something that sluggish. And I've owned non-turbo trucks, but they were both manuals. One was a 6.9 4-speed, and the other was my old blue 92 5-speed, which is actually coming home. I found it, tracked it down. It's going to come back to me. Guy on the phone was really nice. He said, yeah, you find me another farm truck to replace it, I got you. I'm like, oh, you're doing me such a service right here. So yeah, side story, but yeah, I couldn't imagine having that thing behind something without a turbo. Behind a turbo, it wasn't bad. It was really nice for driving through Great Falls and stuff, but non-turbo, oh, that'd be brutal. That'd be so slow. So yeah, we're gonna get this 5-speed in, and then we're gonna be shifting gears and throwing throttles. So yeah, let's get into this, and I think we're gonna get underneath, have a look at that tranny. I did jack the truck up because I don't know how much clearance I'm gonna need to get that transmission out. You probably don't need to, but you know, I'm gonna need that jack to hold the tranny, so if it ends up needing to go up, I don't feel like screwing around with the bottle jack to get this piece of shit in the air, because those scare me. So yeah, I just jacked it up for good measure. Might not even need it, but you should probably get a transmission jack. I'm gonna try and struggle through with a floor jack. This is probably gonna be horrible, but I might even have to fabricate a plate to go on that damn thing to hold it, but we'll see where we go. So without further ado, let's get into this thing. Oh, and something else you might need. I forgot about bringing this thing in. This is the adapter plate to go from the engine to the transmission. I don't know 100% if you need this, but I picked it up with the transmission just to be safe. I've been told the one from the E4OD will work just as good. Holy shit, this thing's cold. I was just running out to grab wood and I forgot about this thing. The whole stove is hungry, but yeah, you might need that. I'm not 100% sure yet, but that happened. I grabbed it anyway, just to be safe, so. But the further we get in, I'll tell you whether or not you need it. Okay, so it's a very good case. Good case. Good thing that I got that transfer case, because that is not a 1356 Borg Warner. Or is it? No, it's not. That's a fucking something. Nobody knows. The one under there is. I know the name of that model, but I can't frickin' think of it. That's a 1356. That is not. So it's a good thing I have that and the corresponding Driveline, because otherwise I'd be up shit creek without an oar. So, found that out. And also found out I don't think this is going to be too miserable. Got the DeWalt light. So, I'm going to start unbolting the skid plate and some things like that. Actually, I'll crawl under and I'll let you have a gander. Where's my creeper? Oh, you probably can't see though without light. Let me get under there so I can get ready. We'll be back. Yeah, that's a 1356. The other is not. Totally different shaft. Doesn't matter. I'm going to change it anyway, but okay. Let me get the skid plate off. See some wiring harness. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's something we're going to have to get rid of. We're going to have to get rid of the shift cable. We're going to have to take the transmission shifter thing out. There's one tranny line that's got to come off. There's another. There's turbo shit. There's 1 bolt, 2 bolt. There's another bolt over here. See him pretty easy. The top ones... Oh, come on. I mean, I see them. They're just going to be a pain in the ass to get at. But, you know, that's the way that this shit goes. Transmission cross member is totally different on this truck. So, we're going to have to use the manual cross member. I think he mounts, like, right there. Oh, I might be full of shit. Am I full of shit? I might be full of shit. I'm not sure if I'm full of shit or not yet, but we'll figure that out as we go. Yeah, we gotta get that skid plate off. Is this thing still... Oh, it does still have fuel tank skid plates. Look at that! And a turnover ball. I fucking love this truck. You can't ask for a better truck. No BS 7.3 IDI with the turbo. Okay, so... Oh, man, I should drain this transmission. But I probably won't, because I don't think this thing has a... It definitely isn't the updated transmission pan with a drain plug, so... Damn. Okay, we're gonna have to disconnect that wiring. I don't know where the frickin' main harness for the transmission goes in, though. I know it goes in somewhere. Maybe it goes in there. No. No way. Oh, I see some wiring harness up there. Probably goes in. Okay. Okay, yeah, we can make this work. No big deal. Rocking and rolling now. Alrighty, let's get this hunk of shit out. And we'll see what happens. Alrighty. We're back. Prime example of why you need these drive lines. Here's a manual drive line. Here's the automatic. A little bit of a difference, huh? You're gonna wanna get them. And then that drive shaft is gonna be, so on your automatic, your front drive shaft's gonna be long, your rear drive shaft's gonna be short. Manual, front is gonna be short, rear is gonna be longer. And I'll show you that underneath here. Lay on my creepy thing. Get my light. Oh yeah, we discovered it's leaking ATF. Can you even see a red hue? Oh, you can. Yeah. Here's your rear drive shaft. Little short guy. But by taking the drive shaft and the skid plate and that crap off, you gain a lot of access, and that is awesome. So that's what we want. We're gonna take that rear drive shaft off now. The way you get him off, all you gotta do is disconnect the carrier, and then it'll it should just slide out of there or out of there. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I think I'm just gonna cut these otakers off. Yeah, and then it'll just slide off of there and slide out of the boot, and then we'll be good to go. I do have a transfer case leak as well, so hopefully that transfer case doesn't have a leak. Otherwise it's gonna be fucking colorful ordering parts for this thing now that it's got 96 parts, and oh my gosh, it's just gonna be fun. But it's also gonna be fun to shift gears. So, but yeah, take them drive lines off. That's gonna get you a whole lot of access to things, and it's gonna help a ton. So get them off, and then we'll figure out our next step. Alright, we're back under the truck. I ended up having to take the rear drive line off. There wasn't enough play to slip out from either the transfer case or the carrier bearing. So I just set it to the side for now. I'm contemplating whether I want to do U-joints or not. But, anywho, shit, where was I going with this? Yeah, I think we're going to pull this transfer case off. Well, I don't know. I'd like to, because this thing's going to be a heavy bastard once I get it down, because that automatic, I guarantee, has got to weigh more than that manual. Maybe it doesn't, but that thing's going to be a heavy prick, so he might come off first. I don't know. We'll see if I can get wrenches in there, but yeah, it was definitely leaking. It made a mess on the floor. By the way, you go to the Horse People store, and you get these, what are the Hudson Pro bleach sprayer. I don't know. Came from the Horse People store. Probably use it for washing horses or some shit. I just fill one of those with gas, and I tell you, the money that I've been saving on brake clean is awesome. Is gas a good cleaning solvent? Probably not, because it's pretty flammable, but you know what? So is brake clean, so I really don't care. Yeah, we got to get this 1350, well, I don't know. Yeah, I should separate that thing, because that's just going to be a heavy bastard. So we're going to separate that, and then we're going to just move forward and work on this transmission. And that should be good. Curious to see if the front shaft on this 1356 leaks. I don't really care regardless, but I am curious anyway. You can definitely tell it's been leaking along the TK seal too, but yeah, we're gonna get into this thing and just hit it head on, full force, full bore. Pull this transfer case, and then we'll see where we're going from there. Alright, we're getting stuff unhooked. Let me move my stuff. Oh, frickin' hell. What the shit? Okay. We've got the linkage off transfer case, got the sensor disconnected. I just cut that hose because we ain't going to need the breather hose, because that one has an independent breather. It doesn't take a hose. When you're disconnecting these things with the big plastic piece of shit on them, yeah, those, get a pickle fork. Those things you just get in there and you just get it off. Pickle forks are like, I can't believe it. They're awesome. I like pickle forks. They work good for a lot of things. They don't work worth a shit for ball joints, but that's why they make special tools for ball joints. But anywho, yeah, I advise using pickle fork for that one. And yeah, so we got that disconnected. Try and disconnect this frickin' transfer case, because this thing's going to be heavy enough as is. So we're getting that disconnected, and we'll go from there. Oh my gosh, I got some wiring. I need to run in some wire loom or something. Good Lord. Don't do shit when you're young and dumb. You just screw it up. Alrighty, so we made a quick run to Missoula to Hazard Fart, and we got a transmission jack. Not a bad jack. Is it the highest quality? No, not really. But is it gonna work? You betcha it's gonna work. Oh, that thing wants to... move around. There we go, we can do that, and then we can take this and maybe finagle him over here. Oh, maybe not, I don't know. He can go right there for all I give a shit. But you got one more bolt, take it out of the transfer case. Now, if you're gonna unbolt your transfer case as one unit, there is a dowel pin in these things. And I show you. This other transfer case may be different. It still has a dowel pin. And right there, that odd hole, is the dowel pin. I have no idea where the hell the dowel pin's at. I'll have to find it, but I know I got it, so. But yeah, these things do have a dowel pin. You're gonna have to wrestle with that a little bit, but I think I'm gonna bolt that son of a bitch back up to the manual and put it in as one unit, because I don't think putting it in the truck is gonna be fun. Taking it out while it's in the truck, that's not too bad, but trying to get everything to line up, I think that's just gonna piss me off, so. But I bought the mid-grade hydro tranny jack, and it says 800 pounds, but I don't know how much this transmission transfer case combo weighs in total as far as the automatic goes, so I don't want to push the limits of that poor little bastard, because it is new now. So yeah, we'll just take him off. And that thing's full of fluid and shit, and I ain't draining it. I'm way too lazy for that. So yeah, we'll get this thing off and go from there. Okay, so I'm not endorsed by Hazard Fart or anything, but buying the transmission jack was definitely the pro play. That made it so easy to get the transfer case out of there. I can't, what the fuck, this thing got 2 gaskets? Maybe not, maybe I'm stupid. Or is that a shim, or is that just a shiny ass mating surface? That's just a shiny ass mating surface, but either way, yeah. And you could tell that the seals in this transfer case were leaking. I don't think they're leaking in that one. So, we got that out. Let's go crawl under, and we're going to have a gander at how empty it looks. Oh, Lord almighty. Oh, yeah. Oh, where'd the transfer case go? I took it out. Look at that. Look at the transmission fluid. It's just eating shit. Nice. Okay, so now we can start on getting this big piece of shit automatic out. I'm just kidding. They're not a piece of shit. I just don't like it for this particular engine. Probably be good, and like I say, and if it was a half-ton truck, even with like a Windsor 302, something like that, I'd have left it, or I would have fixed it, because who the hell tows heavy with a half-ton truck? I mean, some people do, but I don't think it's real intelligent. So, for this engine, nah, it's not that great. Definitely going to save on this, though, in case I ever get another good truck with a E4OD and I need a good transmission. Transmission's still good, just torque converter took a shit. If it's Powerstroke, I'll swap the valve body and go on my merry way. Well, I think you have to swap valve bodies for Powerstroke and gas, because these things get some interesting shift points. But transfer case is out. It looks really bare underneath here. Like, I don't even know what's going on. This is weird. But yeah, next is going to be putting a jack underneath that transmission. And we're going to unbolt this cross member and get him out of here. I don't want to look at him anymore. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, I had to walk out to the shed because I seen if I had any of these U-joints on hand. I don't, so we're going to play musical U-joints, but because I'm cheap and those work. So, Tuscarora. If you want there's this little thing to where you push that and you shut your ignition off and stuff. If you want this, make sure either A, you get the column, or B, just take this off. There's just one screw and a spring that holds him in there. And that should go right into your automatic column. And then all you got to do is just take this shifty and I think you just got to take it out and abandon it. Grab the little bezel for the manual. It doesn't matter if it has tilt wheel or not, because the top bezel is the same for both. The tilt part's in the bottom of it. So, but yeah, I do want to put the interlock in mine, because I want it to be as factory as possible. So we're going to put the interlock in it. Yeah, so I forgot to tell you guys that. Make sure you watch this video all the way through before you start going and getting parts and shit. That way you don't go hunting for parts. The only reason I have all this crap is because I parted out a truck or two. So yeah, just observe. So T-case is out. It's made a mess on my floor, but I really don't care because sawdust is everywhere around this place. It's back here. It made another mess because I accidentally tipped it over. But yeah, them 1356s do not seem near as heavy duty as fuck. I don't even remember what the hell these other ones are called. These are like a later 90s, but they look heavier duty. So fuck, I'll take that. No big deal. So let's get on and move to the transmission. See if we can jerk that little thing out. Neat. Side note, that's a Borg Warner 4407. I had to go on Rock Auto and look up the T-case options. They're 1356 and 4407. So, there you have it. We carry on. Okay, so we got the jack under the pan. Hopefully that pan's got some fucking giddy up and go in her, because, well, I'm going to be putting some torque on the old bastard. Is that the right way? Maybe I need to go this way. There we go. That way and a little bit less that way. Huh. Well, I'm going to play with that a little bit because I do want a nice tight fit like so. Play with that a little bit. Maybe play with that a little bit. Maybe give this thing another little pump them up. Yeah, something like that. And that takes care of all them little problems. Anywho, we're going to unbolt this whole frickin' shift cable assembly. We'll take it off. We'll set it to the side. I'm going to have to unplug this bastard somehow. I had this off at one point, trying to check the connection when it first gave me a code, seeing if I could limp it along. I could not. Well, I'll get a knife in there or a pick and take it out, but shit, where was I going with this? Do I remember? Probably not. Oh yeah, we're gonna disconnect that. I still got to run them up above, and we're take the shifty off for the transfer case. I got shit in my eyes. Boy, from rubbing my eyes, they're gonna look like I've been in a fight. Got the wiring harness bullshit to unplug, but we'll probably do that when we lower the transmission because I think it's on top and it's all disconnected, so it'll come right out. But we are going to get this cross member out of the way, unbolt this shit, get this SOB unbolted. I'm going to unbolt this inspection plate because then I can just pull the whole transmission out. And I can leave the torque converter. I think I can just leave the torque converter connected to the flex plate. I'll find out later. This is my first time doing this, so, you know, we're learning as we go. But, and then we'll deal with that. Yeah, I think that's the way she's going to go. So let's get to it. Alrighty, so, removing torque converter bolts. Now, these are 14 millimeter. Let me make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. Make sure I am using 4. Yeah, they're 14 mil. There's going to be 4 on IDIs. I think Powerstrokes have 6. I have no idea about gas. I think Powerstrokes might use different size too, but I don't know. But yeah. So we got to remove those, but you got to rotate the engine. So all you got to do, because it's an old Ford and it's an awesome. All you got to do is just find something metal and make the connection on your starter solenoid here and just bump it. Don't like just start wailing, but just bump it. Go underneath, have a look, see if it's where you want. If it's not, come back out, bump it again, go back underneath, and just repeat that until you get to where you want. It's kind of like when you turn the fuel up in these things. You can either A, bump it and use an inspection mirror until you find the screw, or B, you can take that little cover off and then see when the dowel, I think the dowel pin, or there's a little pin in that gear, I believe, and just see when it points up, and then you can crank the fuel. Kind of the same concept and process. You're just bumping it until we get it to where we want. So, but yeah, you're gonna have to remove them converter bolts. What else? What else did I find? I got those lines out. Got one part of the electronics disconnected. I got the tranny mount bolts or nuts off. They're right here. Oh sheep shit. I was gonna say something. No, I don't remember. But yeah, and I got that inspection plate off. It's looking like on the IDI. And get my light. Oh, come here. So these two bottom bolts you shouldn't have to screw with at all. However, there's a top bolt to this starter. You might have to screw with that. I'm gonna go look at the plate and see. You might have to screw with that. I'm gonna look at that plate and find out. Make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. I do that a lot. I'm good at it too. But actually, we'll go look at the plate right now. And the other transmission. That'll actually give us a lot of information. Because if I don't have to take that damn thing off, where are you? Oh, right here. So there's a starter mount. No. No, we shouldn't have to even screw with that. So that would be nice. Alrighty, so there you have that. So you probably shouldn't even have to pull the starter off. The way it looks like you can just use the same adapter plate that there's there for the E4OD, because it looks pretty much just like that thing. One thing I will tell you, when you put your flywheel on and you take your flex plate off, there's a spacer in between the crank and that flex plate. That spacer's got to go bye-bye. Because that spacer's only there because that flex plate is not as thick as a flywheel, so it's there to space shit out and make it right for the torque converter. Yeah, you're gonna delete that to put this thing on because these are thick and they're heavy as fuck to boot. But where did I get this clutch by? Oh, I got it from Napa. It's a Napa clutch, but then I opened the box. It just says LUK all over it. So. And it says LUK all over this too. So it's an LUK clutch, and I've actually had really good luck with LUK clutches, which makes me glad I bought it from Napa, because the one on Rock Auto said like it was like $377 shipped. And I'm like, that seems awful cheap for something that's supposed to come with flywheel, clutch, and all. I'm like, I better get the one from Napa because I don't want to have to screw around with the clutch. That just pissed me off. Then you can get them at AutoZone for about that price, but I was looking at it, it didn't look as nice of a clutch as this. So, but yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with LUK on Rock Auto. It just, I didn't want to get the wrong part essentially, so I just went to Napa, said get me the clutch. It was like $510 or something. It was a spendy bastard, but they're good clutches. They're made, I believe they're made right here in the US too. I think in the Midwest somewhere. So, also, this clutch came with a little tag that we're going to find to bolt onto something that says warning. Let's see if I can focus in on that. Vehicle has a new design clutch and flywheel installed. Use only LUK, maybe it's Luke, I don't know. Replacement parts for service. Basically just stating it's got a solid mass flywheel so people don't get confused. So, but yeah, they're good clutches. I mean, if you're building oodles of power, maybe you go with a South Bend, but we're not doing that. You just need the factory clutch. So, yeah, we're getting that torque converter off right now, and then we're gonna undo the tranny bolts. As soon as them tranny bolts are out, we'll drop that cross member, and then we'll just slide on it, and then we'll go to work. It's gonna work good. So if I find something new, we'll make another update. I think I just covered everything that I've kind of been screwing around with. So there you have it. Alrighty, so that was a bastard. Well, I'm like, what the shit's hanging me up? Number one, 4-wheel drive shifter. This thing has 2 dowel pins. That was cool. It wasn't on the jack quite right. I'm not gonna lie. Having that transmission jack is awesome. It is not the absolute best transmission jack though, because then what in the Mickey Mouse fuck? Oh, there's a rock under me. There we go. Not the greatest transmission jack, but it did do the job. It tipped over, but then again, didn't jack the truck up high enough to get it out with it on the jack. I need to jack it up higher for the manual, but now there's your flex plate. That's going bye-bye. As you can see, it's only got 4 bolts. Again, I think Powerstrokes are like 6. I could be wrong, but yeah. And that adapter plate from the auto will work with your manual. No need to even mess with getting one. It literally, I can even see it from here. It is identical. I just killed the video. That was stupid, but yeah, there you have it. That thing is out now. And yeah, we're ready to get that flex plate off and deal with the flywheel, and that's going to be a heavy bastard. I don't look forward to that, but it is what it is, no big deal. So, hi-ho silver, here we go. Alrighty, so I definitely forgot to video taking the flex plate and crap off. The tranny's out, I think we showed that, but it's out, it's over yonder doing tranny things. I got the clutch on. When you install this clutch, I got the LUK kit, and it calls for 49 foot-pounds on the crank and 20 on the clutch bolts. Use this alignment tool to keep that disc in there nice and centric, so that when you go to install your transmission, you don't just want to beat your head against a wall. But that right there, that's the spacer I was talking about. Yeah, you don't want that. You want that to go bye-bye. Yeah, you don't need that spacer, so just toss that to the side. However, there is on the inside, there's just that little ring spacer that went on the outside of that. You can actually see the ring around it. You're gonna want to reuse that, but don't reuse that spacer behind. That's just unnecessary parts that you do not need anymore. Don't throw it away. I mean, they don't make this shit anymore, but you don't need it for your manual. So, but yeah, this shit is all the same. I actually did not need that adapter plate. I don't know why the hell I thought I did, but I didn't want to be short-handed, so I bought it anyway. Inside of the truck, mint. Oh, hole in the floor. To fix the transmission, you must become the transmission. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, race. But yeah, we got that in. Do the spinny on these wheels. You can definitely tell it's an open diff when they spin the opposite directions. But yeah, we got that going. Next, we're gonna go bolt a T-case to a transmission, and then struggle to set it on that thing. My DeWalt light went to hell. The damn bulb burned out, so I had to go get these stand lights, which are great for lighting, but oh my gosh, are they hot, and they're not as versatile, so that just blows. But it is what it is. I guess we'll struggle through it. I haven't quite figured out what the hell to do with this shift cable. I might just take it off this bracket here. Actually, I might do that right now while the transmission's not in. And I might just take it and like hang it up here with some zip ties, because I'm way too lazy to take it out of the truck. So yeah, it's probably just gonna stay on here. Might shift it into a closed position so it doesn't just get all shitty. But oh yeah, and we need to put the manual transmission harness in, because we're not going to want the automatic harness anymore. That's Yeah, we don't want that no more. And it's hanging on the tire. So, and of course, when that transmission fell off the jack, because I'm stupid, don't let that scare you. I'm an idiot. Yeah, it just spilled ATF everywhere, so all my tools are just soaked in ATF. So, that's cool. But look at that nice new clutch. And single mass flywheel. No more dual mass BS, which I guess this thing never had to begin with, but... Oh. I broke that. That might have been the snake in my plane when I was taking this piece of shit out. That. I don't even know what that holds. Does that hold the downpipe? Oh, it does hold the downpipe. That's what was screwing me up taking it out. Okay, so if you got a turbo model, watch out for that thing, because apparently it gets hung up. I'm like, why is that broke? Well, I'm dumb. That's why. I definitely should have bought a rear main for this while I was in here, because I forgot how easy these things are to put a rear main in. But I didn't, so we'll struggle. Anywho. Yeah, this is nice. Got the old floor pan in. That's definitely didn't put any goop and pucky on it. That'll be fine. Boy, right now would be an ideal time to change to a Banks downpipe, but I don't have the downpipe, so I don't think it's going to happen. I can't believe I broke that. What a dumb bastard I am. Oh well, away she goes. Fix it later. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with this, but yeah, I'm going to go struggle with a transfer case and a transmission, and we'll go from there, see what happens. I think I might drain that transfer case too. Well, I don't know. I'm out of good buckets to drain fluid into. I wonder if there's water in the fluid. I really don't want to have to put new ATF in absolutely everything. That's going to suck. Oh, wait. I got a big pumper jug of John Deere Hydro. And John Deere's take ATF for Hydro. I might just use that. Yeah, that's going to work. That's going to work. Because I also got a... Where the hell are you? I got a 5-gallon pumper I can stick that thing on and hi-ho silver and away. Yep, that's what we're going to do. John Deere Hydro. It's ATF. Use it. So, I figured before I start sticking trannies in here and doing stuff, we got rid of the automatic brake pedal. And we got rid of the shifty for the automatic. That's still a good shifty. I'm going to hold on to that. There's nothing. Oh, it just got grease on my seat. Damn it. I'm going to wipe it on my pants. That's still a good shifty. Now, I don't think I need to take that pile of junk out. That just seems like a giant waste of everybody's time. So, we're going to leave that alone. Just, you know, he can hang out. It's not hurting nothing. But what I did do, off of my manual column, I got the clutch interlock, the damn thing that you push to pull your keys out. Got one of those. I'm going to put that on, that way it looks even more correct. I want to pull that instrument cluster out and get rid of the park reverse neutral drive thing, but I don't have the energy to care right now, so well, it's gonna stay where it's at because I'm not pulling it out right now. It can just chill. Some new learning. I had to ask some people on Facebook. That little blank that was in the pigtail for the clutch, yeah, we're gonna leave that in there because that clutch safety switch won't fit with my Heim joint, so we're gonna leave that pigtail in there. I think I can just run that manual harness as is and just not plug in that one weird little thing. Oh, what the hell else? But yeah, and this thing is just a where's the socket? Oh, it's T30 to install that. So that's pretty easy. It's not too hard at all. And it goes right here. You can see the indents for it. Here, and then here, and then it goes in there. Oh, look, reusable grease. Oh, I dropped the reusable grease. Damn it. Let me see if I can fix this wire. Because I, you know, people normally get rid of the door chime. I like mine to work because it makes it feel like it's like a brand new Ford pickup, and that's the goal. I like keeping this thing nice. It has some whoopsies in it. This for one is broke, and I don't have the give a care to fix it because it works as is. These need new paint on them. Maybe sometime I'll send them off to the Absolute OBS Interior, or I guess it's just OBS Interiors. I guess I'll send it off to them and see if they can put a shine on my doors, because they're getting kind of dirty and dingy like this, and yeah. But for now, it is what it is. Man, that's weird. There's no brake right now, but now there's going to be a third pedal and a shifty stick. I'm excited now. I done hooked my boost gauge, the AutoZone Special. Oh, what the heck else? Yeah, fun stuff going on here. Lots of fun. So, let's get to it. Is that coming off? No, now it's not. Yeah, we're gonna install that clutch thing. Oh, no, I don't know what I just did with it. Oh, it's right there. We're gonna install that. I'm just basically getting everything prepared so that when I drop transmission in, that's kind of one of the last things I do is put the drivetrain back together. So, yeah. And I also got this, oh, good, off of there. I got this thing from a manual. I just gotta go grab it. It's over there. So, yeah, let's hit it and see what we can do. Okay, so now we're under the dash. And as you're gonna notice, if I can get my stupid fingers out of the way, I've taken the U-joint. Where are you, U-joint? I've taken the U-joint off of the steering shaft, pushed that the hell out of the way, so I can get the pedals in, because there's no way around that, because you can get the automatic pedal out, because it's just little, but getting that big monstrosity in, you got to take that thing off and just shove her back. I learned the hard way, and I just hit myself in the cheek with a crowbar. You got to take the bolts for this thing all the way out, because it rides on indents. I forgot that they did that. I thought they were squeeze fit. I was wrong. It hurt. Said some choice words. And now we move on. So yeah, just remove that steering shaft. Oh, and while we're under here, this right here, he was plugged up there. That's the little dongle. We're actually going to go get this thing right now before I forget. And things get complicated. Oh, my frickin' face hurts from hitting it with a crowbar. That little dongle that came out of your automatic truck, cap that off, you just leave it plugged in. Don't even screw with the clutch switch. I did some research. This is going to bypass that pile of junk. How does this work? Like this, maybe? Nope, gotta go the other way. There. That's going to bypass it, and then we'll just plug it back in up there and ignore it. So yeah, let's get these pedals in, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so I found another issue. This bracket here, where your shift cable would mount for your Automagic, had to come off, and then this little end piece up here, right there, where your shift cable hooked up to, that had to come off, and then this I just cut off with a Dremel. You can probably use a multi-tool too if you got a good metal blade to get in there and cut it off here, but I just used a Dremel and cut it off real quick. That was getting in the way, and it was making my life hell, so I deleted it. So yeah, if that's in your guys' way, delete them both. Keep that bracket there, because again, they don't make parts, they don't probably make that shit anymore, so. But if it's in your way, get it out of your way. Carry on. Alrighty, so we got the pedals in, everything's rigged up, everything's hooked up. I just had to rerun my boost gauge and then the wires that actuate my my mirrors. We better make sure they work. One of them is not working. What the shit? Hang on. One of these things is not working. Well, I'm gonna have to investigate that. Anywho, deal with that later. It's not important right now. Oh, knocking safety glasses. Anywho, now we're on to the stage of where I need to bolt this T-case to the transmission. I think I've been saying I'm going to do that for a while, but then I'm like, no. You should go through and get all this crap in order and make sure it's good to go and blah, 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 so on and so forth. So I did. And, yeah, we're ready to start thinking about bolting this here transmission in. I gotta go find these dowel pins on this piece of shit. Okay, I see the dowel pins. Hopefully I can those go in from the back side? They can. I'm gonna see if I can take those dowel pins out and make life easier. Might have to use some vice grips or something. But yeah, we're moving forward. Where's the clutch fork? Yeah, there's the right clutch fork, the dirty one. I gotta clean him up a little bit, but that's no big deal. I think first and foremost, I'm gonna bolt this transfer kit. Oh wait, no. I'm gonna go get Dad so we can bolt this thing on and then lift it onto the transmission jack, because that's gonna be heavy, and I gotta lift the damn pickup up further. Forgot about that. Because this thing will not slide underneath with the height that it is at. So we're gonna lift this truck up and go from there. Okay, so after a lot of struggle, I got the T-case bolted in. Originally there's a paper gasket. Well, I destroyed it, so I just RTV'd the hell out of it, so that'll work great. Everything seems to spin and shift fine. I mean, it shifts hard, but you gotta remember there's no oil in there right now, so it's gonna be a pain in the ass. Now, when I had to split this case, in case you guys have to do it, there's soft plugs in here. And I'll show you them. Because I had an original plan of reusing them. Well, that went to shit. I had to drill holes in them, put a screw through, and use, you can use a claw hammer, but I have this slide hammer that's meant to have a screw. Pulled them out with that, worked great. Well, I'm calling around trying to find these little soft plugs, can't find them anywhere. So I put JB Weld in them, I'll just reuse them. Well, I went to put them in, one went flying to nobody knows where, and then I ended up finding it over there. So, I switched gears. I ran a 7/16 tap. These were originally 10 millimeters. I think the one on that case, I think those are around 1/2 inch, whatever that is in millimeters. There's Zumbrota transmission. These were 10, so I ran a 7/16 tap down here. And I've taken a nut, and I put a nut on these things, cut them off, cleaned up the threads, and I just thread those in. I don't see anything that can go wrong with that, and I'm not joking. So, if you can't find the plugs, or if you're in a hurry, or what have you, I think this is going to work slick. So, do with that information what you will. I am by no means an expert, and this is definitely not the right way to do it, but it is the way I'm doing it. Because now, when I go to rebuild this thing at some point, boom, I just got to pull them bolts out. Reusable. I don't have to go buy more parts than necessary, though rebuild kit probably comes with them, but I don't care. They look like a pain to put in anyway, because I got this spring, where's this? And to get this to set, so I can't have that set very far in the socket. Otherwise, I can't push it down. I need them threads protruding. So, I just ended the video because I'm stupid. But I put some rubber grommets in this socket so that it sticks out like that, and I can put pressure down on there. I think that's going to work just fine. So, do with this information what you will. But this is how I'm doing it. We got her on the jack. I used my jack, and I got some chain, and I ran it to PTO bolts on both sides to keep this thing somewhat sturdy and stable, because I'm going to be really peeved if it rolls off when I'm under there, and A, it's going to piss me off, and B, if it falls on me, it ain't going to feel good. So, just a little additional safety. But yeah, let me get this done. I got to jack the truck up some more so I can fit it. And then we're going to go to installing this big thing. I got the slave, I think I already said this, but slave's in. So's the master. It's all bolted up and happy, and everything's reconnected. Yeah, this is going to work out nice. And Keep in mind, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I've never done this before, so I'm learning as I go, so you all can learn from my mistakes. Okay, so we found an issue. I can't jack the truck up high enough to get that thing out. So I had to call Dad. And I says, hey, can't get this thing under the truck. How the hell am I going to do this? Came up with a just brilliant solution. So we're going to unbolt this from the jack, roll it off the jack, slide it under, and then I'm going to take some ratchet straps from either side of the frame and cradle this thing and lift it, slide the jack back underneath, secure it again. Fucking genius. I swear. Sometimes you get two heads and you can come up with all kinds of stuff. So yeah, if you're having that issue too, I know damn well this is going to work. It wouldn't be the first time I've lifted something with ratchet straps as a cradle. I just, didn't think of that. So, this is going to work good. So, yeah, if you're having issues, try that. If your truck's lifted, you're probably not going to have this problem, but I'm not. So my frame rides a little lower, but, oh my gosh, I opened up that freaking stove door and I've smoked myself out. I think that's creosote. We'll just pretend that I didn't burn a whole bunch of creosote. There we go. I'll just open that up and vent this smoke. Alrighty, so I'm going to do that, and then we'll return once again and try to get this thing in there. As you can see, I got all my caps. Well, the new ones. This is going to work slicker than this. Yeah, this is going to work slicker than shit. So here we go. Alrighty, so there it is. We got our ratchet straps holding the tranny up. We can slide this big mamma jamma, which is really not that big, but I don't regret buying it, that's for sure. We can slide him underneath, get everything hooked back up. Man, I wish this bulb didn't go out, but that's just the way she goes. I'll have to go dig up the bulbs, but yeah, this is going awesome. We're getting there. Alright, so more learning curves. I had to take the shift tower off. It was getting in fights with that pan. I shouldn't have put that pan on this early, because then I could have just left the shift tower on, but whatever. Yeah, that was irritating, but we struggled through. What the heck else? Let's see. Yeah, we're just trying to put this thing into place. It looks like it's a little kitty wampus leaning towards this side, so I might have to see if I can adjust that transmission jack. I can get at that adjustment knob, so yeah, we'll have to see what I can do about that. What the hell else was I gonna say? I don't really remember. I do that a lot too. But yeah, that ratchet strap idea, that worked slicker than shit. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Ooh, Craftsman drill up there. Yeah, so we're moving along, cooking along. Oh shit. I should have put that thing in some form of gear. Hold on, I gotta set the camera down. See if I can rotate this output shaft. I wonder if that rotates the input shaft, since there's no fluid in it. Shit, that might cause an issue lining this bastard up. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. If I have to, I'll just unbolt the pan, which I'm going to have to anyway, actually, so I can get the shift tower back on, because that hole ain't going to be big enough. So, I guess either way, I'm going to have to unbolt the pan, so, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But we're going to get this thing into place, and we're going to see if I can't mess something else up. Yeah, I'm going to struggle, and then I'll be back. Alright, we're back. The struggle bus is here. That thing is bolted up, and it was not fun. But I finally called Buddy, and I was like, hey, I need some help, man. I gotta have some. If you've never bolted a manual transmission up before, I was trying to do this by myself, but I had pretty. I knew that it wasn't going to work very good. You got to get them splines on your transmission lined up with the splines on your clutch disc, and then get it to go into the frickin' pilot bearing. So what you're supposed to do is either A, if you're two-wheel drive, there's going to be a yoke coming out of the back of the transmission. I'm four-wheel drive, so I got a flashlight. I got a yoke right here, so I put a pipe wrench on that, put it in, I don't know, first gear or something, and just have him wiggle, and then push on this. But make sure you're like all dead square and you don't look uneven and all that shit. And it's just a game of wiggling and playing with it. I've been under here for a while just getting this dang thing in place. Like, it's nighttime now, and it was daytime when I started, but it is in. Now, more learning curves, not for me, but just good information to know. If you are planning to ZF5 swap, I'm pretty sure that any ZF5 cross member will work. I can't speak for half-ton cross members. I don't know if they're different or not, because I don't own a half-ton with a... I guess I own a Ranger with an M5OD R1, but I've never owned a half-ton Ford with an M5OD R2, so maybe they're the same cross member. I have no idea. But, oh, these pants used to be tan. Hell, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. So I believe that any ZF5 cross member will work. My cross member, they're supposed to be like the, oh, where'd it go? There's that bracket over there. There's supposed to be ones like it that loop back up into there. Well, the truck I got this ZF5 swap kit out of, the kid got rid of them, but he did run it for years like this, so I'm going to see how it works. If it ends up being shit, I'll deal with it. I didn't see any cracking in this thing when I took it off, so I think it's alright. In reality, the motor mount should be handling a lot of that too, so I think I'll be okay. But if not, I'll fab up some brackets that do the exact same thing and just run them to the top. I gotta put my up pipe back in. Oh yeah, factory turbo IDI, guys. I think it helps a lot if you take the up pipe out. And oh, what is that? Why does that look like dog shit? I don't know. I don't know if there's a difference between auto and manual up pipes. I know on, like, when you order a Banks or a Hypermax kit, I know it asks, but you know, in these factory Ford kits, which are an 093 ATS, they got that weird scrunched down pipe, which if you're curious about why your factory turbo IDI isn't as good as a 093 turbo kit, that's it right there. It's got a big frickin' crunched down pipe, and it's bullshit because Ford didn't want to screw with that pinch weld, that seam right there. They didn't want to mess with that, so they just made a scrunched down pipe, which is complete and total horse shit, but it is what it is. The truck still makes better power than a non-turbo, so I'm not going to complain. I don't care. I just put that little LUK warning tag saying it has solid mass on it. Definitely didn't remove the tranny cooler lines because I don't care. I'm burning out on this project. This might be a lot easier if you have two people. I usually try to do everything one man. That way, you know, I can tell people, hey, I did that by myself. Stop whining. But mounting this thing, yeah, you're going to want two people. And it's just a whole lot easier. Where else was I going? Oh, new learning. So, if you have an IDI that came with an E4OD, gotta get up here. Shut that off, because all it does is make heat. You got the IDI with factory E4OD. Like I said earlier, I did some looking. online because that clutch safety switch will not work when I get that Heim joint installed. So we'll just leave the factory plug that's in there. I think that'll be okay. A lot of people are saying that works. Okay. Well, it's still looking for signal. It won't start. I tested this. It's still looking for signal from that right. Oh, I'm not even looking at it. From that right there. So I'm gonna go conjure up a video here. Even I have to watch videos just to make a video because I know nothing about doing the electrical shit. The mechanical stuff, yeah, that makes sense. No big deal. It's the electrical shit that just drives me up a wall. Because I thought I saw in a video somewhere when they were talking about the electrodigicals, they had a jumper wire installed. So I'm going to see if I can find how the hell that works, and then I'll inform you guys, and we'll see where we go from there. New learning after screwing around over here with an ohm meter. Oh, downpipe. I'm excited now. After screwing around over here with an ohm meter, ohming this bastard, seeing what has continuity in park and neutralis, park and neutral. So there's park, there's neutral. These outer twomost pins make continuity. That means that's what we need to start. So that ended up being pins 3 and pins 4 on the truck side, and I found out that these pins are labeled. So if you look there, there's pin 3, there's pin 4. You see I got them jump with some alligator clips. Now, when we go to start this thing, hopefully we get a better result. Actually, I know we will, but I'll show you. Boom! We have cranking power. I was looking up wiring diagrams and all kinds of crap. It wasn't working. It sucks. So, sometimes you just gotta bust out the ohm meter. Hopefully this helps you people on your, oh, that thing's beeping at me, on your OBS 7.3 IDIs, well, OBS, let's rephrase that, on your Arrow Nose 7.3 IDIs, that are not, you know, eager to change all kinds of wiring. Hopefully this helps you. If we jump those pins, and we're just going to jump them with a, I don't know, with a something. I'll probably just use the shitty blue jumping connectors because, ask me if I care. I don't really feel like soldering tonight. Ugh. Oh, excuse me. And then I did find the reverse pins too. Actually, I didn't find the pins yet, but I found the wires. There's going to be 2 of these. Ow, I smashed my thumb earlier and it really hurts. 2 of these orange and pink, orange and purple, and then a purple and black wire. Those look to be pins 1 and 2. So all you need to worry about is pins 1 and 2 and pins 3 and 4. Actually, that's false. I got to figure out which pins do 4-wheel drive to make sure that we're going to work. But pins 1 and 2, and that should be the same on the truck side too. You're just going to snip the, or you're going to make sure that those are going to your reverse lights or your reverse light sensor to make sure that works. And I don't know, I had to make this quick clip because I got excited. We got cranklage. I'll pin out the 4x4 indicator, make sure that works, and then we'll be back. I got a little bit of wiring to do, not too terrible. This isn't too terrible because, you know, it's an IDI and you can start them with a positive and a ground. That's literally all they want. I don't know what I did with my beer. Oh, here it is. Yeah, not rocket science, not too hard. So I'm gonna get that fabbed up, and then I'll be back and we'll see what we got. Why does my washer fluid look yellow? Must have been on sale. Looks like pee. Yeah, we'll get that going and I'll be back and we'll see the results. If I find anything new, I'll of course make another update. Alright, once again, switching gears. I'm not using the manual transmission harness because pins don't match up and shit's pissing me off, and I put it in 4x4, open the door, 4x4 lights on. I'm like, great, I got it. No, you better check. Take it out, still in 4x4. I'm like, what in the shit? Unplug the damn thing, still in 4x4. I'm like, alright, to hell with this. We're using the automatic harness. But have no fear, this is not that big of a deal. As you can see on the automatic harness, I have cut this orange and purple and black and purple, or the purple and orange and the black and purple. Cut those. Those are our reverse lights. What did I just do with that pigtail? You know, the one I had like 5 seconds ago. What in the shit? I do this constantly. Now we're on a side quest to find the pigtail I just cut, because Numbnuts doesn't know what the hell he did with it. You've got to be shitting kidding me. You just cut it off. Oh, here it is. We just cut the reverse light pigtail off, and we're just going to splice those in. That'll work. And then we can just use the existing 4x4. We've already done our pins. What pins did I say we were going to do? We'll go over this again. Pins, I think 3 and 4. Yeah, we've already gone over pins 3 and 4. The red and blue and the red and blue. Interesting. Just jump those. It'll start. Yeah, we've already gone over that. All we're going to do is just... Oh, it's on the floor. Just snag onto that. And we're going to have a fully functioning harness. I feel bad cutting up a good harness because they don't make this anymore. That's why I was trying to use that. And I had to cut into him too. Just everything's chaos. It breaks my heart to cut into a good harness, but I don't have another, so this is how it's going to go. I'll save that harness and I'll just get a new pigtail, but I hate using all this nice E4OD harness because it's really good shape just for frickin' running 2 sensors on a manual, but it is what it is. The pins match, we're going to use it. So yeah, again, I reiterate, the purple and maybe that's orange and purple, I don't know, and then the purple and black, those are what we're going to use. You can hear my voltmeter losing its ever-loving mind in the background because I forgot I left him on. Oh, we're going to need that. Wait, are we? Oh, that's just a slight pigtail for the 4x4 indicator. Yeah, I'm going to do this. We'll be right back. And then with any luck, all of this shit's going to work and it's going to be hunky-dory. So, stay tuned. Alrighty, so now that we've got our new wiring harness made, there is the automatic transmission. This is the automatic transmission harness. Here's the transmission shit from the brain box. Here's to the shift indicator. I just covered that stuff up with black tape. There's the reverse lights, 4x4 lights. And actually I found the wires, what did I say they were? Orange and purple, and then purple and black. The ones on the manual harness were the same color, so I just took them up the same way. Now we'll be able to plug it in and we should have the correct lighting. I'm a little curious to see, but it should be correct. And we should have right 4x4 light. And we should have reverse lights. Though I can't get the transmission into reverse because there ain't no fluid in it and it's stickier than shit. I gotta fill that thing next, but I can't really fill it till it's on the ground because I'm way too lazy to read how many quarts it takes, and I'm using a pumper jug anyway. So, but yeah, there's our harness. We're gonna plug that in. We're gonna see what happens. Make sure everything works. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right, wiring's in. Seems to be working pretty good. We're gonna slap some drive lines up now. After I go drink some of this beer. There's my beer. Yeah, there we go. Have another one. Refreshing. Now, we're gonna put some drive lines on. That drive line's gonna go bye-bye. He's replaced with this one. Actually, we're gonna feel the U-joint in this one. Feels good. And he does. I gotta use these bolts because I lost the originals. Well, I lost one of them. So we're using these. And that's gonna work just fine. And then the front drive line, we do have to play musical U-joints with that one, but that's... U-joints aren't even hard to replace at this point in my life. So we're going to definitely hook up this rear drive line first. And yeah, we're going to go from there. Pull these U-joints. I use another tool I got at Harbor Freight. All these like weird specialty tools that I hardly use, I usually buy them at Harbor Freight because then they're cheap and I don't feel as bad that I bought them. They're, even though we probably should have bought a better tool that I'm about to show you. Oh, now I don't remember where it's at. Oh, that might be it. Maybe not. Either way, it's a ball joint press that also does U-joints and stuff. It's way better than just beating on it with a socket. That sucks. So we're going to use that and grease the piss out of these U-joints. I wonder if one of these is greasable. No, neither one is. That's alright. Well, we'll deal with it. No big deal. Yeah, we're going to sand this and see what happens. But I highly recommend that press. Doesn't matter where you get it, but they are handy. Here we go. Okay, we're back. Factory downpipe don't fit now. Great. Modify the firewall. Great. I'm not real thrilled right now. I would never have thought that this would have been as big of a pain in the ass as it is, but it is, so we'll deal with it. We'll struggle and we'll see what happens. So here we go, hi-oh, silver and away. Alrighty, so I believe we got the up pipe in. I just gotta make sure it bolts up and shit. I had to take the heat shield off because it was just getting caught on anything and everything that there was to get caught on. And I was not having that. I mean, I'll keep it. Again, I don't throw away anything. Mainly, I just don't throw away or get rid of anything that comes off of this truck in particular. I mean, even when I swapped in the center jump seat, I still have the armrests and the center console that was the captain's chairs and, you know, big center console. I still got the hubcaps. I still got the rims. I don't get rid of anything that comes off of this truck. If it comes off this truck, it stays with me. So that'll be another thing that unfortunately just kicks around the shed. Man, I smashed the shit out of my thumb earlier. But I think we got the up pipe in. I'll have a gander at it, make sure it's all right. I gotta grab the clamp. I don't know what I set it up here already. So yeah, we'll get that up pipe on and then we can continue. I forgot about the up pipe. It's getting late. I think it's like, yeah, it's 11:20 here. Burning the midnight oil. Good thing those exist. Okay, up pipe installed. I just deleted the bracket that used to hold it to the transmission because that wasn't going to work anymore, I don't believe. Got those bolts in. I'm about to bolt this miserable bastard up. This is going to suck. Oh, now I got to remember what the hell I did with the nuts for this thing. Oh, that could be a problem. Yeah, that could be a problem. I don't know what the hell I did with my nuts. Oh. I've lost my nuts. No shit. Oh, no, I know right where they're at. I take that back. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yep, I see them. So, yeah, we're going to get that bolt back up. Then we'll bolt drive lines on. I can't forget the exhaust. Otherwise, I'm going to be like, why in the hell is this thing got so much cab noise? That would do it. So, I'll get that bolted up. We'll bolt some drive lines on. We'll drop this thing back on the ground. I think that's the last step. And then we're going to fill the transmission. I'll overfill it just a little because I've heard solid mass flywheels give you gear rollover noise. That's just shit vibrating. That's what the dual mass was meant to take care of, and it did. But they're just more maintenance and a big pain in the ass. So we'll just overfill it a little, and it's not going to hurt anything. So, all right, here we go. Be back. All right, so I skipped past all the boring crap. You know, like just picking up tools, putting this carpet back down, screwing the floor pan in, things like that. Went to put fluid in this thing. Somebody over-tightened the drain plug so bad, I can't get it off with vice grips. And now I've got the shifter back in over there, so I'd have to go down below to undo it, pull the pan off just to pull the top of this freaking transmission off so I can fill it. I should have done that before, but I forgot, and then, oh, I'll just pull the plug. I swear, people get behind wrenches and they over-tighten the living shit out of everything. But, oh well. But yeah, that's kind of 5-speed swapping for you. Looks a little different now. Man, that's going to be weird not grabbing a shifter or a automatic shift handle. It's going to be grabbing a manual. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see if I drive this thing out of here tonight. It's 1:30 in the morning and I am beat. So, I don't know. We'll find out. But there's a 5-speed swap in a nutshell for you. I will get an end clip of it working and everything, so that way you know I'm not a fraud. So yeah. Alrighty, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We got her. There's first, there's second. Oh shit, there's third, there's fourth, there's fifth, and there's reverse. Yeah, she's a good runner. Now, I hear a noise, but I think that's just what they do. I think that's that gear rollover, and it's actually not bad because I put a shitload of fluid in that thing. Like, I overfilled it by 3 quarts. Yeah, did that, so I don't think there's a whole lot to worry about there. I think that's just the gear rollover. So, but yeah, hopefully something in this video helps you on your 5-speed swap. This thing's kind of geared towards the IDI world. However, a lot of things here are transferable to 460s, Powerstrokes, small blocks, what have you. So I hope this also helps. Not also, but I hope this helps somebody out. I know I struggled with this a lot. I've never swapped one before, so this is new to me. So I hope this helps somebody, and I hope this makes your swap go a little bit easier than mine. Learn from my mistakes and learn from my screw-ups, and you'll be alright. I definitely got to get a new one of these, because that is hideous, and broken to boot, but we'll figure that out later. So thank you all for watching. Have a good day. Stay vigilant. Alrighty, so making just a follow-up to this video. Got the transmission in, got everything done. Heim joint is definitely something you want to do. That clutch is so incredibly smooth. It is awesome. When you try to go over a couple things I forgot to mention in the video. When you put that throwout bearing in, the shaft that it slides on, grease that up, and it's gonna slide so smooth and nice. Grease your splines too, because then they will go in pretty nice. Forgot to tell you guys that. Another thing, what the heck else might I forgot of mentioning? Just if there's something that looks like it should have grease, it probably should have grease on it. I wouldn't get too carried away with like bearings inside the transmission. I did grease them, but I didn't get too carried away because they're meant to run an ATF. I just greased them for startup, whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent. Never can. I don't think it can hurt it, so I just ran some grease around the outer and inner races. So main reason I'm making this, so in the beginning of the video I mentioned I stole a bearing out of that S47 and threw it into the S42. Don't do that. Don't play musical bearings. If there's a bad bearing, go to your auto parts store, get the bearing, and replace the bearing. Because I went out this morning and started the truck up. I was going to go to a gas station, grab a energy drink or some shit, I don't know, and fire the truck up. I don't really have any doubt about that truck starting like an absolute champion. It's the best damn pickup I've ever had. Sitting there idling, go in the house, let it warm up a little bit, come back out about 5 or 8 minutes later, get in there, well, thumbing through my phone, find a good playlist, turn on, or something dumb, and the bastard stalls. I'm like, what in the shit? I didn't touch nothing, just stalls and dies. So fire it back up, clutch in, letting it out, and it's grabbing like it's in a high gear and it's wanting to move. So I start feathering this clutch and it comes free. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? That's weird. So I put it in reverse and I'm backing out and it's just jumping. It's something's not right, because that ain't the clutch. New clutches don't jump like that. So I'm like, well, shit. So I back up and I go forward again, and then I'm trying to get this thing to come free, and it is not coming free. So that bearing that I replaced was the bearing that your input shaft rides on. I greased it, I put it in there. It didn't seem terrible at all, but I think that thing went to shit, and it is locking the input shaft with the rest of the main shaft. Therefore it is in 4th gear, because 4th gear is direct. So it'll go into every gear. However, the only gear that it doesn't stall in is 4, because it's like it's stuck in gear. But it's not. It is, but it isn't, because it's stuck on the shaft. The shift forks have nothing to do with it. They're out of the question. So moral of the story, don't play musical bearings. I've never really had an issue with playing musical U-joints, because they are an external part. They're easy to replace. That's not that big a deal. I already have plans to replace that U-joint at some point, but I just wanted it out of the shop because I've got other projects that actually make me money that I need to get through the shop and done. So this was something that I was pushing really hard to do. Should have just put the new bearing in to begin with, because now I just made myself a bunch of extra work. Got to pull the transmission out again, got to split it again. Definitely reusing the fluid that's in there because it's brand new. But don't play musical bearings. If you've got it off, don't replace that main bearing with a used one. Bad policy. Should not have done that. Learned a very valuable lesson. And the thing that pisses me off most is I know damn well I never would have done that with an engine. So why I thought it would be okay to do it with a transmission, I have no idea. Anything internally on the engine, even gaskets. I don't like reusing gaskets. Even if the gasket's good, if I've got it apart, I replace the gasket. Same goes for anything on the internal of an engine. So why I thought it was okay to replace a blowed up bearing with a used bearing is beyond me. So don't do that. Again, I reiterate, it's better to just buy the transmission kit and just do it while it's out. I do have plans to do that transmission. Just right now,
is really not the time to rebuild the whole thing, because, you know, broke college kid here, got things to, gotta have projects in the shop that actually make me money. This is not one of them. It kind of is, but it isn't. It makes me money in going back and forth to drill and picking up flipping vehicles, but otherwise it really don't make me money. So but yeah, musical bearings, big no-no. Don't do that. So there's a little follow-up. Otherwise, I mean, still everything's fine. Just gotta replace the bearing. So y'all take care. Have a good, what the hell day is it today? Have a good Tuesday, the 14th. Oh shit, it's Valentine's Day. Well, try to have a good Tuesday the 14th. Stay vigilant.